Hello, everybody, and welcome back to, a tier list video of a sorts. We will combine some few things. I talked about the likeliness of certain shows of Dimension 20 coming back. Like, what is the likeliness that we will get a season 2 or maybe even a season 3 for Misfits and Magic and also Dungeons and Drag Queens, for example. But I have not talked about the series like Unsleeping City, Crown of Candy, like all the ones with the Intrepid Heroes, because I wanted to wait till Cloud Ho is over so that we can include that in this discussion. We're gonna go here in a second. First, I want to talk about a little bit something different, and this is this tier list. It is the tier list where I, not categorized, where I ranked all the Intrepid Heroes characters, basically, from all the main seasons, and now that we have Cloud Ho, I want to put our Cloud Ho cast in this as well, but I didn't want to make this an own video because it would be like, I don't know, 2 minutes, no, not 2 minutes, but like 4 minutes long, and so we will combine these two right now. So as a reminder, we have the highest tier, which is Blimey. Then we have I Thought I Was Invisible. Then we have come to Jeff Manhattan, followed by Honor the Cock, yes. And then we have the Butt Crushers, or the Red Grinders, more likely. And yeah, you see here how I have made my list the last time. If you have not seen that video, go and watch it. It is a lot of fun and I love to talk about our characters. Now, first up, we have Daisuke, and Daisuke for me already is up here. Daisuke is truly my favorite Seikoyama character that we have seen. I love Daisuke. He's so funny, and I said it before, he's not evil or bad, but I would also not say that he's necessarily a good guy or the nicest person. Like, if you're a friend of him, then of course, but he's not necessarily the most caring. I mean, he is in his way. If you have seen Cloud of Her, you know what I mean. But I really like him. I like to see this side of Zack, and I also like the character Daisuke on its own. And yeah, you see Rick is also up here, Ricky, excuse me. And yeah, they are like polar opposites to me, these two. Next up, we have Maria. And Maria, I'm gonna put in I Thought I Was Invisible. I really enjoyed Maria. Her whole story with Ludmilla, I said it in my thoughts video about Cloud Toro in general. I said that she was the heart of the season, and she truly is. And I love that for her and for us as well. However, something is missing for me to get her to Blimey. Maybe it is the comedic moments. There are comedic moments with Maria, but I feel like not as much as with other characters. You know, there's something missing there. But overall, she is supposed to be a tragic character. So yeah, that fits, I feel like. Another thing is also that on the one hand, yes, the whole Ludmilla thing, it was fully tragic and you could fully see how it enveloped Maria. On the other hand, I have to say, it kind of felt samey at some times. Like, it always felt sad. Like, I always had heartfelt feelings for this. But it also felt like there was not much more going on with Maria, which again shows that the character is so deeply affected and she is constantly thinking about this, about Straka and Ludmilla. But as a viewer, it also can sometimes feel like we have heard the song before, you know. Maybe that's a little bit harsh on my side, but that's kind of also why she's not all the way up in Blimey. But nevertheless, don't get me wrong, like, she's super high up. I really like her. Now, another character that I really, really like, and I'm gonna put in Blimey, is Maxwell. I don't know what it is, but Maxwell, to me, I just love him. I don't know. It is just the kind of character that speaks to me in a way, and I can truly not pinpoint what exactly makes me like him so much. It's just basically his attitude. So any interaction that he's involved in, I just find 10 times more interesting or hilarious. He just adds something to every scene he's in, and I just love it. It's simple as that. Now we come to Monty. Monty I will put in Jeff Manhattan. He was like really a great mentor figure, and he is a really great character. All of these characters, like, by the way, folks, for those who are new, the characters, even if they're in the last tier, in the Butt Crushers tier, doesn't mean I hate them. It just means that in my list they're coming in last place, but it doesn't mean like all these characters, to be honest. So yeah, back to Monty. He's great. His mentoring, his wildlife interactions, those were the ones where he kind of lost me. I know that I should maybe be more interested. Like, I'm interested in like preserving nature, but I didn't really feel that connected to this part of the story. Also because Suit in itself, I mean, it was in danger, but it was not necessarily such a natural danger. You know, it was more like war between people or like different kind of groups. So it didn't really quite connect with me for the overarching story. But nevertheless, I liked his talks, especially with our next character, which is Olefra. Olefra, I struggle. I maybe want to put her in Chef Manhattan or in I Thought I Was Invisible. This is really tough. Now, I just finished the season. For me, it has been now 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm not sure. And of course, I have still a lot of memories attached to all these characters. But when I compare Olefra to other characters that are up here, I feel like no, I will leave her there. I will leave her. No, this feels right for me. Yeah, no, Alefra, like her whole connection with also Comfrey, and Comfrey was such a huge part of the story, where she is and what she's up to. So, and her seeing to struggle with that because her grandmother was not always the best person to be around, let's put it that way. And just in general, different layers of finding the crew, finding her own self within the adventure. I just love all these developments that we give and get from Olefra because she's the young hatchling and also totally on a different spectrum than Maxwell is, however. And I like that she is the truly adventurous, like sky-eyed, as they call it in the series. And yeah, that fits to her. And she's this series not phase, but she's kind of like, oh, this is why adventure is so great. What does adventure mean to me? Everything. Now, lastly, we have Van, and I'm gonna put Van down here with Monty. Yeah, no, these when I look at these six, I feel like that's right. And when I compare them with the rest of the cast, well, of the cast of the other characters, it seems like, to me at least, they're all in a similar lane. But again, this is totally subjective. So please let me know in the comments where you would rank these six. And yeah, Van is much like Monty, a really great character. Like she is, we know what she's about, and I do really enjoy with her that whole thing with the ventricle, no, the Tesquagua, Jazzy Tazzy, and especially her ties to her family, and that we see that she is kind of scared. But I have also to say there's something missing for me with her as well. Maybe also some comedy aspects, but I feel like she also was a really strong connection between the world and our group. So I like that. So it is not really the same with Monty, because Monty, I felt like he didn't have a strong connection. Van definitely has a strong connection, but I don't know, her character. I think what is missing for me is I wanted her to fulfill more of a role of a certain type. Like she was the bosun, is that what you call it? And she did do that work at times, but I also was not really happy with the crew, as you know. And maybe Van, now I don't want to put the blame all on Van, but maybe Van should have basically kept the crew in better shape. I would have liked to see some more scenes where she does that. I know in the beginning we got something of that, but later on there was like nothing in this direction. But nevertheless, like again, Chef Manhattan, love it. And yeah, this is our list, or my list, for the Intrepid Heroes ranking. Maybe I will go back in here at some point and rearrange things. Especially after some time has passed with our Cloud.ho people again. They're all ranked pretty high up, but honestly, I don't see any of them going lower than Jeff Manhattan, because I really like that cast. I really like Cloud.ho. Well, speaking of that, how much I liked it, let's go to the next tier list. So this is the overall tier list of all the seasons by Dimension 20, the side quests and the main quest as well. And now we have Cloud.ho here, and I honestly think I'm gonna just put it up here, but I'm gonna put it in. I thought I was invisible. I really enjoyed it overall this season. I would not put it in Blimey. It is not like this season up here. Like you don't understand, folks. I love these seasons in Blimey. Literally, I could watch them on repeat times and times over and over again. It's just great, and I have like put it out as background noise or to going to sleep as well. I don't know, while going out for a jog. I just love to put them on and just listen to them as well, like as podcasts. And I'm not sure, I don't feel like Cloud.ho is there yet. It could change, but we will see. So now with the Cloud.ho specific part out of the way, we will dive into our discussion about how likely it is that the season will return. You see up here we have very likely, probably, then we have maybe, and then unlikely. Now you can see which seasons I have put where. I'm still feeling good about most of them. Maybe Tiny Heists I will put down here, but we will leave it up because, yeah, I'm just not sure about Tiny Heist. And as you can also see, we have all the seasons from the Intrepid Heroes down here. We're gonna do it the following way. They have, for example, season 1 and 2 and 3 of Fantasy High. We're only going to speak about Fantasy High as one property. So I'm not gonna put in all these 3, just one of them. Well, speaking of Fantasy High, let's just start with it. I feel like it is very likely that there will be at some point another season of Fantasy High. Maybe the final season, because as far as I understand it, the Eggford Academy education takes 4 years. So I would guess that it still could continue on after that, but it would make sense to actually finish it there. I feel like we will get it. However, I also feel like this is not something that we will get in the next 3 or 4 years. Like this could be something that we will see in 5 years from now, maybe. Because between season 2 and 3, there was also a big gap, and I can see that happening again. And as I said before, what I believe or my suggestion would be, idea, is that there would be a season 2 of the 7 between now and between the Fantasy High season 4. There should be a season of the 7 and the second season of the 7. Wow, that is a lot of numbers. You understand what I mean, I hope. Just to keep us in the world, just to keep us inspired? No, that's not. Entertained, yeah. And it is also a great way to show us the 7 again, because that is a great cast, and I would love to see them return. Nevertheless, Fantasy High, yes. At some point, obviously. Now we have the Unsleeping City. We have 2 seasons of the Unsleeping City already. However, and I mean, they did the, what's it called? Not the Super Bowl. I mean, they could also do the Super Bowl, but Madison Square Garden, where they also played a canon event, as far as I remember, from the Unsleeping City. Or was it canon? No, it isn't fully canon. I'm not sure about how canon that was. Nevertheless, I'm not so sure. I could see them return. Because my thought process is just the ending, or like the last sequence of Unsleeping City Season 2 was so, great in a sense. It was a truly TV ending, or like movie ending, because we had a time jump, and we saw our Intrepid Heroes, or the characters of the Intrepid Heroes, with families, with kids. Kingston had the kid, Zack had the kid, not Zack, but Ricky had the kid, and Sophia also had a kid. And I'm not saying that just having a kid means that you're out of the magical world, or that you cannot play them as D&D characters, but it just feels really rounded and well. And maybe if we go back to Unsleeping City, it will be another time jump. I could see that. However, I'm not gonna put it in very likely. I am gonna say probably, maybe. Because another thing that I have to keep in mind is just how much love Brandon has for New York, so I can see him going back to that well. And not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but just like this is something that is near and dear to his heart. So I can see a return on that side as well. Now we come to a Crown of Candy. Crown of Candy, I'm gonna say already, I'm gonna put it in maybe. And just because it also could be probably, honestly. Like the thing is, the way that it is, I don't think then we talk about down here. Unlikely. It is unlikely that it will return with the same characters in the same time period. If we say it will be total different characters in a different time period, then I'm gonna say it's actually probably. But since I don't know for sure where to put it between, I mean, yeah, we will put it in between because I'm not sure. So it is a maybe for me. I don't feel like it would make sense to go back to the same characters, like even just a short time jump, even if it's just like, oh yeah, 2 years or 5 years later. I feel like it would at least need to be several decades um, for it to make sense to return to this world. At least that's how I think about it. But that does not mean it is unlikely to happen. Yeah. I wonder, however, how interested they are in that. We will see. We will see. Now we have a Starstruck Odyssey, and I wanna. Like something in my gut tells me very likely. I just feel like we will go back to this universe. Just based on the fact alone that it's the world created by Brandon's mom, and also that it is truly such a hijinks, wacky work that you can do so much with, and I can see them going back to the characters, and here it feels like to me it makes sense to go back to these characters because I still they have a lot to do left to do in the world in this universe. And I also have seen some fans talk about it that they would love to see this season come back, like another Starstruck Odyssey season. So I definitely could see that happen. And I personally would like it. They have just had. Oh my god, English is difficult. They just did Viva Las Vegas in Las Vegas. I think like last weekend or something. So maybe we will get another season of Starstruck Odyssey. I would love to see that. Now we come to Never After. This one is. Listen, I gonna put in unlikely. It could of course be maybe. I personally gonna put in unlikely, and not because I feel like it would be impossible, but I feel like the Never After is their horror season, and horror maybe not just maybe no, it works best when not everything is explained. And Never After really managed to give us enough explanation. I'm going to be honest, I said it before that in Never After, that's the trouble that I have with it. I would like more explanation, but I also feel like we don't need it truly. It is kind of like difficult to manage. And overall, I would say they managed it. There are certain things that I would like to have more information about how it all works, but it also could have made it all more convoluted and even kind of like destroyed it in a way, like the plot holes and everything. And it is also a good show or a good season just closed in itself. It doesn't necessarily need an expansion, I feel like. It is not neatly tied up with a bow, so you would think, oh, this is the reason why we can always come back here. But I feel like it is the reason why we shouldn't come back here, because a big part of this is the story is not really knowing that they're in the books, but then they find it out, and now, of course, their new life begins. But now this new life, we get to imagine it what it is, and I don't know if it's better that we can think of it or if they would actually show us that. And that's why I just don't see it very likely in that sense. Now, of course, the fans, I also saw a lot of comments about that people would like to see this comeback. And they also Dropout itself. I think Brennan at some point, I don't know, it was like some adventuring party or something where he said that he would like to do another kind of like lethal season, which also could mean Crown of Candy, but Never After also was lethal in a way. We had a full party vibe at some point. And yeah, it is kind of more horror based. So maybe they will go in a direction So next up we have Cloud.ho, and it is such a new season. I will put it in maybe just because of that. It is they're too young. The season is too young to tell if basically the fans will keep having interest in this. Like maybe in 2 years nobody will talk about it anymore, which I don't hope or think, but who knows? And yeah, I also don't know what the cost dropout will look at numbers, let's say, and I don't know what the numbers are here of the merch sold and the clicks on the clips and stuff like that. Yeah, I just can't put it there for now because I'm missing some data basically. Story wise, I could see it definitely. They also kind of also set it up where they talked about, oh yeah, there are other adventures that are waiting, but if they would do that, I would not see it coming in the next few years. I feel like that would be also like 3, 4, 5 years down the line till they would come back to Cloud at Home. At least that's what I think. And so there you have it. This is the updated list with all the stories or seasons of the Intrepid Heroes included. I'm not sure if any of this will come true, just the time will tell. I'm looking forward to any new season of the Dimension 20 crew. Even if it's not with the Intrepid Heroes, I also love the side quests. I'm gonna watch it regardless. And yeah, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you want to be part of that. I would highly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. In general, if you want to support somebody online, it is the easiest and cheapest way to do that, to interact with the content. I do it as well of people that I want to support. And so it would be appreciated if you could do the same. Let me know in the comments down below what your ranking would be. I would be highly interested in that. As always, I love to talk about Dimension 20. And with that all being said, have a great day. See you next time. Bye.